The whole world is enticing us into more, better, different, next. And it's beautiful. I love the tastes of the world. I don't deny them. I like a good meal, good food. I like to have fun. Good music. But they're no longer the source of my happiness. They're no longer the source of peace. Their relative success or failure at satiating my appetite has little influence on the deepest truth of who I am. It's a surrender there that it can't be touched. So then I can enjoy without relying on it. So satsang is like the train. This is one of many analogies that show up. Ramana would say when you get on the train, you don't keep your bags on your head. So you come to satsang and you put everything down. And then your own silence becomes audible. You actually recognize your own spaciousness. And it is a great support to have other people, to have teachers, to have mentors. And for me, it was just to hear the words, Whoever told me it was okay to be afraid? No one. Didn't the parents say, don't be afraid? Isn't that what the parents say? Oh, don't be afraid. It's okay. Then Eli says, yes, invite it. Be terrified, he said. So we come to satsang to hear both, to have confirmation of the truth and to be reminded that we all have the same mind. We all have the same egoic patterns. Everybody's terrified. Everybody's angry. Everybody wants to be in control. And then we start the spiritual search and everybody wants to be enlightened. And that's beautiful. It's all beautiful in its own way. At the very least 20, 30, 40, 50 years, however old you are, is how many years you've had the indoctrination of your culture, which tells you you have to be somebody. And then we hear the truth once from a teacher and we get it, and then the next day, when everything floods back, we get very frustrated. After all this time, and I'd say it's more My sense of it is that we're not just dealing with our own limited physical existence, that we have thousands of years of modern culture since the dawn of thought. I think it's maybe 50,000 years since we first started to think as a human species. And in that moment that we started to think, we became the superior survival machine on the planet. We could now assess situations, we could plan. It was a new thing to be able to talk about the buffalo that are on the other side of the mountain, the ones you can't see. To be able to talk about something that's not right here. It's called talking conceptually. What a great survival gift that is for us. And so this upgrade of intelligence that informs us, that helps us survive, that helps us judge what the weather's like so we know what to wear. Helps us judge when there's a dangerous person in the room so we know to stay away from them. Helps us avoid being eaten and helps us find something to eat. That this upgrade then gets unchecked. It starts to run unchecked. It becomes its own energetic monster. And we see the results of that in the planet. We see the results of that in our culture. And so then the lucky ones, the ripe ones, the ones who've suffered enough, find their way to satsang, find their way to a teacher. And it's a life-shattering experience. Just to see the very basic realization that our thoughts are not the truth. Our thoughts are not the ultimate truth. That's the liberation from the slave master. And so when we talk about the nourishment of silence, really we're speaking about something very fundamental to our existence. We're talking about the internal dialogue that sometimes is also very quiet. It might not even be an audible thought. But it's that part in us that feels separate, that feels individual, that feels different, that feels incomplete, that feels like I'm over here, you're over there. I'm over here, God's over there. And now I have to work my way back to God. I have to work my way back to oneness. I have to work hard to be one again, to be myself again. But when you're really lucky, you find a teacher who laughs at the very notion. It's a laugh of compassion and a laugh that shakes the foundation of our belief in who we are. And yes, it says, how can you ever not be yourself? How can you ever be separate? How is it possible? So then you come to satsang and then you put all your concepts down. Put them down at the feet of the teacher or wherever, in the garbage at the back. You put all your concepts down, all your beliefs, and until you're finally left with nothing to stand on, with no net, no safety net, not even oneness, not even a single concept of truth, of freedom, of God. And when you strip everything away, then you look and see and check what is left, what can't be stripped away, what's here when everything has been seen through. And what's left has no name. What's left is undescribable. And it seems such a shame to burden it with a description. And yet, why not? Call it anything you want. Because it can't, no name can attach itself to it. And then there's really nothing to do. Nothing left to do but enjoy. I would say enjoy the nectar of your own heart, of your own living conscious awareness. It's so simple.